I have no idea how to start this video because there's so many things going on, but I suppose I should start with that it's Friday the 5th of September, and I have a lot that I want to get done this month. I'm still easing back into vlogging, and I'm also trying out a new sort of style of vlogging, I suppose, so you'll excuse me if I'm a little rusty. But yeah, it's September, these are monthly vlogs now rather than weekly vlogs, and we're not starting halfway through the month this time, so that's an improvement at least. But yeah, it's the evening. I've been mulling over how I wanted to start this video all day. But I figured it's better to just start. So if you watched last month's vlog, you'll know that I was kind of stalled in everything that was going on because I was waiting for a notebook to arrive. Well, the notebook arrived. So that problem has now been solved. I have it, so I can get started now. But we should probably backtrack first and lay out some of my goals and ideas for things I want to do this month so that you know what the hell is going on. So if you don't know, I'm autistic and I have been slowly trying to build a routine, both, you know, in the morning, the evening, just for life in general. I really have not had a routine since I was a kid, because as soon as I started secondary school, my entire life was blown to pieces. And it was just so much easier to not have a routine because other people were going to inevitably ruin it anyway. Hello. Speaking about ruining things, Bramble's come to say hello. I'm trying to film. So I have already started building a routine. I'm taking it very slowly because I have in the past tried to implement full routines and they just don't work because it's too much. And I also have to be mindful that my energy is limited because of my chronic illnesses, so I can't just go full in, so I'm sort of implementing things one at a time, which is why everything was stalled because the notebook wasn't here. Alongside me starting to build a routine, I am also clearing out because I will be moving out of this house now that university is done in like 7 months, I think. And so, you know, the more I can downsize prior to that, the better, and also I just have so much crap that I really don't need, so I'm clearing that out. So clearing out has kind of been my sort of secondary goal, I suppose. I'm just working on that as and when I can, and in the meantime I've been focusing on building a routine and sort of a life, I suppose. Since I'm not in education anymore, I officially have my degree, I need to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. Obviously there are many ways to go about that, but I thought, I've had this book, The Artist's Way, for a couple of years now. I got it for Christmas on my birthday one year. They're only 2 weeks apart, so they blur together, but I've had this and everyone sings its praises and I've always really wanted to read it and implement it, but it's basically a course on how to live a more creative life. It says the spiritual path, but I'm not at all religious or spiritual. It's not really that, to be honest. You could make it that if you want, but it doesn't have to be. And mine very much is not. But yeah, so far I have started it, and so far it has gone really well. The course within the Artist's Way is set about in terms of weeks, so you implement a new thing every week. I am not doing that because, as I said, I need to take things slowly to make sure that it's sustainable. So I'm doing more like every month rather than every week. So it will take me a year to finish this because it's a 12-week course, so for me it will be 12 months, but I think taking it slowly is the best thing for me to do. And the reason I thought it was good to start this now is because it very much has sort of habits and stuff that it asks you to build, which is therefore a good thing to implement now while I'm building my own habits. So far I have implemented the morning pages habit, which, if you don't know what that is, it sounds fancy. It's essentially just write a journal every morning. Very simple, and honestly it is going really well. I got this desk, like a new desk, because that's the thing, I have like a computer desk and then I have a table for crafts, but I don't have a writing desk. And having this designated desk here for both writing and sort of skincare and stuff has honestly been life-changing already. Because of my autism, I really struggle with transitioning in between tasks, and so first of all, building a routine so that I know, you know, what order I'm doing things in, what comes next. It limits the thought that has to go into what I'm doing in the morning, but also having this desk in general, but also having it right here has been one of the best decisions I've ever made, because the important thing is that this door goes to the bathroom right here, and so normally it's open. I've closed it so that you don't have to see the bathroom. But the point is, it's already right here, so I'm essentially almost like half in the bathroom, which therefore makes the transition between sitting here and going and doing hygiene tasks, which is something I've always struggled with as an autistic person, much easier. The first step to building my routine was to A, get the desk, and B, then to just try and implement journaling in the morning, both as part of the routine, which is something I used to do, but also as part of the artist way, which came really easily. I got a new notebook for it, which was even encouraged, so it was totally necessary. I had to buy a new notebook, and definitely not use the other 50 that I have. I have less now, I gave some of them away. I decided the first step that I wanted to be part of the morning routine was to be the morning pages or journaling, hence why I got the desk, which has worked out really well. And also it came very naturally now that I have a space for it. And also just, it was something I used to do, and it's been really nice re-implementing it, and I have noticed a significant rise in clarity, mental clarity I suppose, because I don't have all these things swirling around in my head immediately after I've woken up because I put them on paper. And by doing that practice and sort of implementing it fairly seamlessly into my life already, and more specifically having this desk right here, I have then already been able to transition easily into adding like a skincare and hygiene routine. That's pretty much as far as the routine has got so far, and like I said, I'm taking it very slowly. My next step is to form some kind of very basic evening routine, which is where the new notebook comes in. So with this new notebook, I am going to be making a habit tracker as well as a symptom tracker, because like I said, multiple chronic illnesses, lots to track. I do have several apps that do that, but it's so annoying having them all in different places. And also, you know, if you want to be able to keep and see the data or get most of the features, you have to pay, and I'm not doing that. So I have a notebook and I'm going to put it all in here. And now that I have a designated space, I'm very confident that this should be a seamless transition. I really have not thought about what else I want to put in my evening routine. Like I said, I'm moving slowly and I just want to at least set out the intention of having a routine in the evening, and then we'll see what I would like to incorporate later on. But for now, I'm just going to build the habit of sitting down here and filling in the habit tracker, and then we'll see what else I want to implement. I'm going to be setting up my habit tracker this evening, which you'll see in a minute, but I also want to talk about the other thing that the Artist Way suggests you implement sort of straight away, which is the artist date, which again, it sounds kind of fancy, but it's essentially, at its very basics, it's just do something, you know, just for you, once a week that is, you know, related to art, and, you know, it doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be anything, it just, something like journaling, scrapbooking, that sort of thing, just something that you want to do that sort of fuels your creativity. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing for my artist date or where they'll fit in with a routine, because I haven't got any sort of weekly routine yet. So that's something that might come later, but I do like the idea of doing art journaling. It's something I did a lot as a kid, and I'm also trying to move away from sort of storing all of my stuff online. I like the idea of having physical media, because ultimately things are just, like, the internet's just not reliable. You know, Pinterest, they take your pins down sometimes through no fault of your own, and you know, there's all this stuff, like, you don't own anything on streaming platforms, so I'm trying to move to physical media, and I think having sort of my Pinterest boards on, you know, in a journal is great, both, you know, as a nice activity, but also just as like a physical version of Pinterest that could essentially be lost. I don't know whether I'll be able to keep up with that weekly. Again, it may have to be more of a monthly thing, but I think, again, slow and steady, I'll incorporate it slowly. I'm thinking initially I may try to make these dates on like a Sunday, but I'm not sure. There are lots of other habits and stuff which, again, I'm trying to build, which are more of a weekly thing rather than a daily thing. So I may make like Sunday, for example, sort of my weekly habits day. But again, I'm not sure if that will be sustainable because I may not be able to do all of them in one day. Now that I'm out of education, obviously I have nothing that I absolutely have to work towards. I don't have to learn anything, I don't have to read anything. However, I love learning, I always have. I hate school, absolutely hate, because learning and school are not the same thing. but I love learning and I want to make sure that I'm still incorporating that into my life. So if you saw last month's vlog, you'll know that I went to that talk about folklore and women, which I loved so much. I have booked 2 more. There's one next week, which I'm really excited for, and there's also one in October that I can't believe it's already September. Like, it's gonna be Christmas tomorrow and that's crazy. But yeah, those kind of sort of informative but also fun talks on things that I'm interested in are definitely something that I'm sort of constantly looking for, which, and you know, those can also count as artist dates, as something that fuels my creativity and interest. So I'm not really sure, but that's sort of what I'm thinking about right now, and I'm gonna, again, implement things slow and steady and, you know, rework things if it's not working out. I'm going to continue working on clearing out and stuff over the weekend. I have some tidying ups I want to do in the library. I have switched around some of the furniture, which I said I was going to do at the end of the last vlog. So it's now all ready for me to start reorganizing things, which I'm hoping should go fairly quickly. Now that everything has already been cleared out, I've just got to re-put everything away in its proper place, which should feel really great because everything will sort of start to come together. And once I've done that, I can also get to sewing because I do have some sewing projects I want to do. I've got a whole lot of clothes I just need to alter that I've been like meaning to alter since I started university and just never got around to it. So it'll be good to get that on the go. But for now, I'm going to get my habit tracker set up so that I can hopefully start building an evening routine, and we'll see what else I want to add as the month unfolds. It is the 18th of September. It is almost midday, I think. Yes, almost midday. And to be honest, I haven't done a whole lot since I last talked to the camera. I went to that talk, which was really, really good, by the way. I love those talks so much. And I think it's a nice way to sort of, you know, have a guaranteed thing that I'm going to leave the house for every month. Because otherwise I won't leave the house. And they can kind of count as like one of my artist dates, I suppose. But yeah, I kind of hit a stopping point with all the clearing out because I was waiting for some organizational things to come in before I can, you know, continue organizing. And I couldn't start clearing out or organizing anything else because it all depended on being able to organize the chest of drawers, which I couldn't organize. But the stuff is here now, so I'm going to show you it and then we can continue clearing out. So I have this set of drawer organizers. I have no idea why they felt the need to wrap them each individually in plastic. That feels very unnecessary, but regardless, they're here. And this will be useful because I need to organize all my threads and stuff into drawers, and if they're not in a box, they're just going to roll all over the place, especially when I open and close said drawers. So these give me like a wide variety. Some of them are you know, squares, some of them are long and thin, and there's some bigger ones. So it gives me a wide variety of choices to organise the drawers. I am going to have to individually unwrap them all first though. And before we get back to clearing out, I do actually have another parcel. This should be a box of books. What a shock. If you've been here a while, if I've got a box, it's probably full of books. But yeah, I haven't opened it yet, so let's do that. I love doing that. So the first one I have is Emma by Jane Austen. They're all classics because I really want to get into that. If you've been following me on Instagram, I haven't posted it yet by the time I'm filming this, but by the time you see this vlog, I will have posted it. But you'll know that I'm doing one of those personal curriculum things, which if you've been on Bookstagram, you've probably heard of, or BookTok. I don't do BookTok. I do technically have TikTok, but only so I can watch TikToks that my friends send me. Never used it outside of that. I probably should, but I don't want to. But yeah, it's a whole thing and I really like it and I would like to get into classics, so I ordered some and they had a big sale. So I basically got 6 of them for like the price of 3, and like more like 2.5 really, so you know. Yeah, and this is they're all from the Cranford Classics. Yeah, Cranford Collection by Classic Novels. I'll leave the link in the description. We have The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, Dracula by Bram Stoker, 1984 by George Orwell. I really wanted Fahrenheit 451 as well, because the cloth-bound Penguin Classic, I think it's like a really obnoxious colour. So I don't want that version, I want it to match this one, but they didn't have that, so hopefully they'll do that eventually so I can get the one to match, but we got this one at least. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So yeah, that's my little book haul. Look at how pretty they all look all together. Hell yeah! I've got to try and find space on my bookshelf now, but you know, I got rid of some books so I can buy more. That's how it works, right? I have no idea what I'm going to be doing for the rest of today because I am actually waiting on someone to come over and pick up something. I've been selling some stuff on Facebook Marketplace as I've been clearing out, so someone's supposed to be coming around at some point today to pick one of those things up, but he did not give me any specifics. He said that he'd come over later, and then I asked for more specifics and he just said this afternoon. So that, I mean, that could be like anywhere from like a 5 to a 7 hour window. So he could arrive like right now, or he might not be here till like 7 PM, who knows. So yeah, I can't really get stuck into anything, but I do have some chores and stuff to do, so I'll probably do that and then I can get back to clearing out and stuff tomorrow. October, I am very tired because I went on quite the adventure on Monday because I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've talked to the camera. The last 2 weeks have just like completely slipped away from me. But basically, I've been having this sort of effort to sort of de-digitize my life. So I'm trying to move over to like DVDs and CDs essentially, because there are too many streaming services and I can't afford any of them, let alone all of them. So that's kind of what I was doing. And so I bought some Buffy DVDs off of a guy on Facebook Marketplace. But he lives like on the other side of Norwich, so I had to go and, you know, figure that out. And it was a long trip and there was a bit of drama, but I did get the DVDs, so that works and they're in great condition, so that's fantastic. But yeah, it was quite the trip. And then I had to get back to town like in record time because I needed to go to the bank before it closed. And I got there like 5 minutes before the bank closed. So yeah, it was a bit of drama, but I managed to do everything. I kind of feel like I haven't really done much for the last couple of weeks because, like I said, they just kind of slipped away from me. And I can't even really tell you what I've been doing. It's just been kind of a whole load of stuff because I'm at that point in the clearing out process where like you keep doing lots of things and putting things where they're supposed to be, but you don't really feel like you're making any overall progress because all of the other stuff is still a mess. Do you know what I mean? That being said though, I did completely organise all of the chest of drawers for all of my sewing stuff, which is great to finally... I haven't reorganised my sewing stuff since I was like 8. So that was long overdue and it's now actually organised. So that's fantastic at least. Oh, and I did also finish knitting a jumper, which I'm not going to show you because it's a present for someone and they might watch this video. But maybe I'll show you like them opening it at Christmas or something because I don't want to ruin the surprise, so I won't show you that now, but you'll see it in a few months probably. But I did finish the jumper, which takes a lot of time. So yeah, and then pretty much the only other big task I have left is to clear out all my clothes, which I'm currently looking at, and I've been putting that off because that is a big thing, and it's also one of those things that once you start, you kind of have to finish it there and then, which is just like a lot of work. However, I have run out of other things to do instead of doing that, so I think I am gonna have to actually do it. Maybe I can put it off till next week, we'll see. But then yeah, other than clearing out the clothes, I am pretty much done. I do still have a couple of small cupboards to clear out, but I'm not gonna bother with them just now because I'll have to dig into both of them in order to get all the Christmas stuff out, so I may as well clear them out while I've already got everything out of the cupboards to get the Christmas stuff out anyway, rather than doing it twice essentially. So I will do that probably later in November or something when I'm doing Christmas stuff, but they shouldn't take long. It's just a few piles of things. They're really not big cupboards, so yeah. But I am pretty much, other than the clothes, finished clearing out. The only other thing I do have to do technically is take photos of things because I'm going to be selling a lot of the stuff that I'm getting rid of on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're interested in any of the stuff I'm getting rid of, it's mostly, there are going to be probably quite a few clothes that are they just don't fit me anymore, or they're not my style. But yeah, and I've just got some random, like I'm selling my ukulele, which most people probably do not even know I own a ukulele. I did play it at one point. Never played it again. Never will. I can't even anymore because my fingers are so hypermobile I literally can't play it. So selling that, you know, just some other stuff. I've got a handful of books to sell, not many though. And yeah, I may also sell some of my old like crochet and knit projects just because I don't really have a use for them, and someone else can get something cool and handmade for cheap, I guess. But yeah, so if you're interested in any of that stuff, then you can check it out. But how rude! I was talking, Bramble. And now he's trying to knock over the tripod. You see, you can tell I wasn't lying when I said it was 4 PM in the afternoon because he's hungry. One thing I have done though is that I painted my wooden stool, which is something, again, I've been meaning to do since I was like, well, I've been meaning to do it for like 5 years or something like that. Since we got it from IKEA, like when I first moved into my second room at my parents' house. That makes me sound really rich, like not like I moved into a different room in the house. not like I had 2 rooms, you know what I mean. But yeah, we got it then. I bought the plain wood one because I wanted to paint it, but then I just never did. But I have finally done that now and it should be dry, so that's great at least. And the reason why I finally want to paint it is I actually want to put it like right down here. Down here, because you can see there's this gap, and Bramble likes to jump on this chest of drawers so he can go behind the curtains. However, he is an old man. He's 12 years old and he's started to struggle just a tiny bit to get, I mean, he's still fine. Like, I'm not concerned or anything. You know, eventually, you know, he might have some sort of medication for arthritis or something, but it's just that it's become a chore for him to jump up and down, and I don't want him to, you know, have to do that. So if I put the steps here, then he'll hopefully be able to climb them, so that'll make it less of a chore for him. And perhaps more importantly, it will give him somewhere to sit next to me here, because at the moment he's not happy with this new desk situation because he can't sit next to me. There's this massive gap between the desk and the chest of drawers, which isn't close enough, but there's also not enough space for him to get on the desk, and he doesn't like that, and he keeps screaming at me about that. So hopefully the steps should fix both of those problems. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much gonna end the vlog, but actually, you know what? Let's go and get the steps, and I'll also give you a tiny little bit of a bit of a tour as to what clearing out we've done. It doesn't look great still. I have done a lot of work, I promise. It's just that it's, you know, it's at that stage where I'm still trying to get rid of stuff, but I haven't gotten rid of it yet, so it just has to sit on the floor, which is kind of annoying, but I'll show you. So, this is the library. As you can see, it still looks like a bit of a mess, but I promise it's not. So, first of all, this is a pile of clothes I need to alter, which will hopefully be done this weekend. Ukulele, which I'm selling, I need to dust that. There's just a couple of random knickknacks that I'm not sure where I'm putting yet. But like, you can see, like, it's mostly done, right? This is all organized. I still need to, like, get, I think, another storage bin, but for now it's fine. I've actually picked up most of the stuff that was on this floor here, which is great. This stuff is just needs to go under there, but I can't reach right now. These, like, jigsaw boxes, these are empty. I'm getting rid of the folders, it's just that I haven't moved them yet because I need to take photos. And also the boxes I'm keeping just in case I need to, like, post things that I'm selling. You know, I don't have to buy another box, so... Again, these paper patterns just need to be hung up. And then there's also some more stuff that I'm selling. But yeah, all of the drawers are organised now, so you can see we have threads and stuff. We've got sort of hardware, zips, chalk, sewing things, beads, threads, etc., and it goes on. But yeah, so the chest of drawers is organised, and all of this is also organised. And look, I even have like a tiny bit of space on this shelf. I can buy like 3 or 4 more books, so that's fantastic, right? That's Bramble, who's hungry. Being cute won't make it dinner time any sooner, babe. We've talked about this. So yeah, and again, as you can see, there's a couple of boxes that I'm going to be selling. Again, another box that I'm going to keep in case I need to post things. More stuff I'm selling. These are just some blankets I need to fold. And then this, the box needs to go in the bin, but this is my box of overflow wool, which I just need to put back in the library. So, but yeah, other than, like, you can see that if you remove this, you know, these things that are, like, practically done, it looks much better, right? This is the stool, though, so let's take this through and see if Bramble can learn how to use it. Well, that seems to be a success, so hopefully he can use that rather than jumping up and down all the time. Hell yeah, he just used it. I know you can see that, but he just used the steps. Success! He's a fast learner, guys, and very food motivated. Just like his mother. So yeah, I feel like I haven't really vlogged that much, but that's because I haven't really been doing that much that's like a sit down and do something sort of thing, you know what I mean? I've just been doing lots of little things here and there that have contributed to the whole of tidying up, but hopefully now that I have, even though it doesn't look fantastic yet, once I've taken photos of everything, I can then put it all in the corner in the living room, and I can then actually have the library back, because I really want to start sewing again. I've got several projects that I want to do before Christmas. I don't know if I'll get them all done, but we can hope. I have been reading and sort of journaling a lot as well, so I suppose I have done quite a lot this month, just none of it has been really, like I haven't really been able to vlog any of it. I've also made some pretty decent progress with the concept of the artist date, which I talked about I think at the beginning of the vlog. I haven't been doing it every week religiously. I think I've done like 3 rather than the 4. I think I missed one somewhere in there because, I don't know, this month has just kind of gotten away from me. But in general, that's been going good. I just bought a colouring book, so I'm hoping I can incorporate that as well, because it was in the sale, so it was only £3, which is fantastic, obviously. And yeah, I'm hoping to do some more art journaling soon, and just now that I've got almost everything in place in my house, I can hopefully, probably about halfway through October, once I finish the clothes, I'll be able to actually go on to all of these other things I'm hoping to do. But, you know, the boring stuff has to be done, and most of it is done now, which is great. But yeah, for the time being, I'm just gonna end this vlog here. We'll talk more about stuff in the next vlog. I've got some book stuff to talk about, and I'm still not really sure what I'm doing with my other social media, but I don't know. Look, I have posted a couple of videos on social media, specifically on Instagram, and some of them will probably go up as YouTube shorts as well, which, let me tell you, I have never watched a YouTube short in my life. But it's a thing, apparently, so I might do that. I'm not into short form videos, but I've been told I need to do it, so you know, if you want to go and check out my Instagram, then let me know what you think, if you guys are even interested in that sort of thing. If you've got any ideas, it's not really my thing, but I feel like I'm gonna have to do it, because, you know, TikTok kind of ruined social media in a lot of ways, but speaking of which, I should probably get TikTok, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna end this vlog here. So I hope you have enjoyed it. Like it if you have, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.